In this video, I'm going to show you one of my very first flights on PilotEdge. This is a service that you can connect your flight simulator to, and it lets you fly alongside other sim pilots and interact with them on your plane's radio. Best of all, it employs actual people doing realistic air traffic control for your simulator. I'm still pretty nervous on the radio, so you're going to see me make a bunch of mistakes. Lots of ums and uhs and stammering. I'll call out some of my mistakes, and others will be pretty obvious. But that's the whole point of PilotEdge, to practice procedures around other aircraft, talk to ATC, and gain confidence on the radio. So bear with me as I start to get over my mic fright. Without further ado, let's get into it. So I'm going to start by bringing up Microsoft Flight Simulator. And that's going to take a while for that to come up. So in the meantime, while that's loading, let's go ahead and go into SkyVector to bring up the airport that we're going to fly out of, which is San Luis Obispo, which is it's in the region that PilotEdge supports. And so let's go ahead and bring up this page, bring up the AFD entry. So we'll have access to that. We're going to bring up the airport diagram. We're going to need the layout of the taxiways and the runways and also the radio frequencies up here. And finally, while we can hear Flight Simulator loading in the background, I'm going to bring up the PilotEdge thing. So this is a program that you run in Windows, but then it brings up a bit of a UI here in the web browser. And so in a little bit, we're going to use this to connect the Flight Simulator to the network. And you can also file flight plans and stuff through here. All right, here we go. So let's go ahead into the world map. I'm going to fly a Cessna 152. Let's take off from San Luis Obispo. I'm just going to go ahead and use live weather and live time. We may have to change that if it's not VFR conditions, but I think it's probably fine. And so we should also pick where we're going to park. If we look at we need to actually know the names of the parking areas because we're going to have to tell the ATC about that. So let's go ahead and park at the west side ramp just for fun. So this area here. And we need to remember to tell them west side ramp. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. So here we are. And before we get started, we need to connect the simulator to the network, which we just do by coming back to this and saying connect. You have to pick your call sign and the type of aircraft.
PilotEdge connected.
Okay, so now we're connected. If we go back to Flight Simulator, so you can actually test whether or not your audio is working by tuning into a special frequency. So to start, I'm going to go ahead and just turn on the fuel. I'm skipping a lot of the proper startup sequence for the Cessna for the purposes of this video. And so if we connect COM 1 to 123.45. This is a special frequency that PilotEdge supports for testing your audio, basically. Okay. And then on COM 2, we're also going to connect to 123.45. Okay. And then do both. And now if I push my press to talk button, I can say check one, check two. Hello. Okay, so that has confirmed that the audio is working and the levels there are pretty good. So next step, we need to get the ATIS. So let's go back to here the ATIS is 120.6. So let's connect it to that. And I'm going to write down the relevant bits here.
San Luis County Regional Airport, ATIS Information Hotel, 2056 Zulu, wind 290 at 7, visibility 10, sky condition, clear, temperature 18, dew point 11, altimeter 3012, arriving and departing runway 29er, visual approaches in use. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have Information Hotel.
Okay, so the relevant bits there were Information Hotel. The altimeter is 30.12. And runway 29 is what's active. ATC could still send us to a different runway, but most likely it's going to be 29. And if we go back to our taxiing diagram, we'll see we're over here. If they are going to send us out of 29, then the taxi instructions will involve Juliet, Echo, crossing runway 29, and Alpha all the way to 29. I've had it before where they just send me Juliet to Mike, and then take off from runway 25. So we'll see what they actually do. So next step for us is we want to connect to, we want to tune into tower and ground. So ground is 121.6, we can see here. So we're going to do 121.6, that's ground. And then tower, which we'll need in a little bit, is 124.0. And so the backup here is going to be 124.0. So let's actually listen for a moment to see if we listen on tower. Let's see if anything is happening right now. Don't hear anything at the moment. In fact, why don't we go check? If we go to the PilotEdge website, and if we go to Pilot Center Live Map, so there's actually a fair number of people online right now. So that's pretty cool. But we're not hearing anybody right here, but we can get ourselves started anyway. Let's tune it to ground, 121.6, and then they need to do initial contact. San Luis Tower, Cessna 15668 is type Charlie 152 at the west side ramp. Request taxi for departure to remain in the pattern.
November 15668 San Luis ground, runway 29er, taxi via Juliet Echo Alpha, cross runway 29er at Echo.
Runway 29, taxi Juliet Echo, cross runway 29, taxi Alpha to 29, Cessna 15668. Okay, so that was our initial contact.
Tower low, exit 219 coming up on Charlie 16 right.
Okay, so I'm going to skip a lot of the specifics for the right way to get this started.
And that's tower runway 16 right, clear for takeoff.
Okay. And we were given clearance to just directly cross runway 29. We weren't told to hold short. So we're just going to go straight there. Okay, runway 29. We were told that we can just cross, so we're going to cross. But we're still checking. So normally up here, we'd park off to the side and do our run up, but I'm just going to go ahead and skip that for the purposes of this video. And we are also, so I'm going to hold short here at runway 29, switch to tower, and then announce that I'm ready for departure. Okay, so parking brake, switch to tower. San Luis Tower, Cessna 15668 is holding short at runway 29, ready for departure.
November 15668 San Luis Tower, left closed traffic approved. Report midfield downwind each pass. Runway 29er cleared for takeoff.
Runway 29er clear for takeoff. Left traffic will report midfield downwind each time. Cessna 15668. Okay, so let's get moving out onto the runway. Traffic pattern for this field is 1203. So we're going to follow runway heading until we're about 300 feet short of that, and then we'll turn on our left crosswind.
Burbank ground, Southwest 45 with Sierra, ready to taxi for departure.
Southwest 45, Burbank ground, runway 15, back taxi runway 8 Alpha.
Taxi runway 15, back taxi runway 8 Alpha, Delta, the Southwest 45.
So there you can hear traffic from other airports. They have different airports that you can hear. From this airport, on the same frequency, I can hear some other airports, which you wouldn't in real life, but in PilotEdge they do that just so that there's more traffic that you can hear, and so that you have the practice of working around that when you're working on the radio. Okay. So we're about 300 feet short of traffic pattern altitude, so let's go ahead and turn on our crosswind leg. Okay, and then we got to report midfield unless they call me first. All right. San Luis Tower, Cessna 15668 is midfield runway 29er for touch and go.
November 15668, runway 29er, clear touch and go.
Clear touch and go, runway 29er, Cessna 15668. And let's start our final.
Burbank Tower, Southwest 485, ready to go, runway 15.
Southwest 45, Burbank Tower, runway 15, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 15, Delta, Southwest 45.
Okay, we've made the runway, so throttle to idle. Perfect. Okay, so flaps back to 10. And let's do one more go around. And this time I'm going to ask for a full stop instead of touch and go. San Luis Tower, Cessna 15668 is midfield downwind for runway 29er. This will be a full stop.
November 15668, roger, runway 29er, clear to land.
Clear land, runway 29ers, Cessna 15668. Made the runway, so throttle to idle. Okay, missed that one. Let's do flaps up and we'll get the next taxiway.
15668, taxi to parking via Alpha, remain this frequency.
Taxi to parking via Alpha. I'll remain on this frequency, Cessna 15668. Okay. There we go. Pretty good. So what I can do right now is hop back out here, go to this client and disconnect.
PilotEdge disconnected.
And so now I'm still in the flight simulator, but I'm no longer connected there. So there we go. That's using PilotEdge at San Luis Obispo Airport.